Hello, I'm Alena and founder of the Soul Manifesto. And today I wanted to talk about something that seems to plague before Corona, it was about 49%, but it's gotten even bigger. And it's grown more than anything we've ever seen, at least anything I've seen in my life, and that's anxiety. Anxiety, that I like to think of anxiety as that creature inside of us that's always hungry and is always buzzing and is like fire. It just has to run, it has to keep going, and it has to worry, and it just spins and spins and spins inside itself. That's how I like to think of anxiety. And like a little goblin. I know it sounds silly, but I personify everything, it seems like. But here's the thing. Many people who have this severe anxiety can't sleep at night. They feel this big fear in every part of their lives. They wake up with it. They go to bed with it. They wake up in the middle of the night with it. It's this gnawing sense of obsession, just constantly going over and over the problem, over and over. And we feel like, because it takes so much energy to keep that wheel going inside of us, we feel like we're doing a lot, but actually we're not. We're inside a bubble. I'm very familiar with anxiety because my mom lived with incredible amount of anxiety, and my ex-husband had an incredible amount of anxiety. And I saw what it did to their lives. I saw how they didn't ever want to step out of any sort of comfort zone. I saw how they worried about, the worry started taking over them. Meaning, even if there was nothing to worry about, when life is totally peaceful, they have to actually find something to worry about. Because this is why I personify it. There's this little goblin who's just saying, wait, what do I do? I need to worry about something. And then it starts all up again. I remember one time I said to my mom, I have another brother who's in another part of the state, and I said, oh, he's doing fine, he just needs to rethink a few things. And she says, oh, now I got to worry about him. I said, Mom, he's 50 years old. I don't think you have to worry about him on this. He'll figure it out. I said, and plus, is your worrying going to help? She goes, I don't know, but I'm going to worry about it anyway. That was my mom. But the thing was, even the drugs, she got immune to the drugs. Anxiety is not something we have to suffer with if we learn the warning signs that it's coming on and we have tools to start to deal with it. And I find more and more, just so you know, and I'm going to give you something today that really helped, a friend of mine and also my mom at some point. When you start to connect to your higher self, you don't have that. You truly don't have that anxiety because you're guided. And any problem, no matter how severe, is answered in the best way. But that takes conquering that hungry goblin inside you, And if you're used to feeding that worry goblin, we'll call him or her, we'll name it. I like to do that. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. You don't have to. But how do you pacify that? How do you get it to actually eventually leave you? It's really important, because when the worry takes over, guys, it can ruin your life. It can shorten your life. It can cause you this incredible fear where you start to develop symptoms. You get adrenal fatigue, where the adrenal gland's not working right, which then causes a thyroid to go out, or a heart problem, or white blood cells to be produced way too much and start causing that kind of problem. There's some scientists that feel that really stress is a very big part of cancer. All these, stress is not something that we can just say, oh, that's what I have. And sometimes the medicine medicine is good to get you to a place of somewhat management. But while you're on that somewhat management, which I don't say don't do, because sometimes it can be so severe you need it, why not start to learn how to get control over it? And when you get control over it, then you never get totally into it. It's like you're feeding that little worry goblin something that pacifies it and slows it down. I know that psychologists say, or they did with my mom and ex, that, grab something that's alive when you're starting to go into the attack. Exercise, definitely exercise. Exercise exudes energy. It gets out frustrations. It loosens the muscles. It gets the energy flowing and out, and that's good. But what happens when you've got the idea, the problem that really keeps coming into your head, and that obsession is what's starting to feed the hungry little goblin down there. And then soon it turns into worry, and then before you know, you've got an all downright panic attack. All right, let's back up. Okay, so we finally have an idea that we're obsessing about. And I wanted to show you something, and I hope you can see it on the camera. If you can't, I will definitely tell you. I'll talk it through. All right, so my dad was really famous about TBars. He loved TBars. So I learned how to do everything in a TBar. Everything you can imagine. So this is a TBar. Now I put my control at the top, and then I put whatever my problem may be. Say I had a kid, which I don't, but let's just say, because many of us do, have a child that's being unresponsive and is not getting good grades, and I can't seem to control that child, and I'm very worried about that child. Maybe they're doing drugs. Okay, let's do that one, because that's a very common theme, unfortunately. And so what do? I obsess about it. I yell. I can't get it out of my head, and I'm yelling at my child, and I can't get him or her to do anything. All right, I turn to this, and I put that problem up at the top here. On this side, and then I draw a line. I think you can see my black line. On one side, I say what I can control. And then on this side, I put what I can't control. Now, this is where my dad and I differ, because from this, then I have a plan of action, and I put my solution action. Okay? Now, I do not carry this with me everywhere, because then you're obsessing again. But I do put this on my kitchen or dining room table or coffee table, whatever. And then I sit down with a cup of tea and I start to write. But when I leave this pad, I leave it on the table with the problem. I do not take the problem with me. It is here. And every time I come back, that's when I think. And that's the only time I think. And no, I don't set up a camp and sit there forever. No. Let's not try to bend the rules. Let's go away. Do something fun. Do something different. Do some work. Do whatever you like. Do some gardening. It's just the season, Then when you come back, you get fresh ideas because your mind has left it. And guess what the best part of this is? You feel more in control of the obsession. And you're not obsessing. And that hungry little goblin's going, what do I do? But we don't care. So what can I control in this situation with my child who just seems to not listen to me, and I can't deal with it anymore? Okay. Well, I always like to put down first what I can't control. Why? I don't know. It's just where I like to start. You can start either way. I think I like to set those boundaries for myself because I'm not going to waste my time over here with what I can control if I can't control it. So what I can't control. Okay. I cannot make my child into another person. Okay, that's one. I cannot, if my child is 17, I'm giving it an age, I cannot force my child to become something they are not. That would be the biggest thing I would see over there. What I can control is what that child does in my home, my house. It's our home, but it's my house. What he or she has access to as far as Wi-Fi and things in the house. I can control my attitude in how I want to deal with this. Do I want to be a screaming banshee, or do I want to sit down and really talk? I can control my open mind and listening to my child as to why this is happening. I can control the procedure that I present myself to the child. Okay? Now, under the action part, I'm going to put what I think, actually this is where you might or might not, but me, this is where I want guidance. So I will do a short meditation. I will sit there and say, okay, so this is what I have, and I just want to get clarity. So I just sit with it. And I don't obsess. I think, what is my plan of action? Not, oh, my kid is driving me crazy. No, it's what is my solution of action? What is my plan? Okay, first thing, I am going to really sit down and listen. Not tell, but listen and hear what is going on in my child's head. And then, two, then I am going to make up a plan with them. That is my first route on the decision board. Now, that might not be yours. Maybe you're having this problem and that might not be yours. And you're saying, Alena, you're crazy. Well, I'm also going by my children because that's all I know. And my children, that is a very viable solution. And they know that I will listen. And they know that I will work with them to get over any kind of worry, whatever's causing them to do this destructive self-behavior to themselves. They know that I am there to help. So it's not a matter of setting rules. It's more of a matter of me helping them to get over what lump they seem to be trying to get over. But you may have a different kind of relationship. Your solution would be different. But here's the thing, whatever the problem is, whatever we feel that we are obsessing about, we can use this tool to start. But the guidelines are, when you write it down, you leave it there. You don't obsess when you're walking around. And this gives you a visual. And that really helps. Visual really, really helps because you feel like you're doing something. And you might find with some things, you've got what I can't control is like all filled up, and what I can control is nothing. That's what I call worried about stuff that we don't even need to worry about. And if that's the case, my solution is to ignore it. Let it go. Let it go. Exercise, let that energy just seep out of me. This is a good way. I have had so many successful results with clients who seem to suffer from anxiety. And it just gives them something solid. And of course, this isn't the only thing we do because not one shoe fits all. But this is a really good start. I hope you have success with this. I hope it gives you something solid when you feel like you're starting to enter into that obsession and that anxiety. But you know, like I say, guys, when you start to, in Soul Manifesto, it's a very strong, beautiful, beautiful community that helps you. And we've got the Soul Talk, we've got Inevitable You that helps you to find the solutions, design the life you want, design the home life you want. You know, we've got the tools and we've got many ways to help. But in order to join, you just have to go to soulmanifesto.com. And if you feel that you need more than that, then go to the contact page and reach out to me. I'm very accessible. And I don't want to see anyone ever have to deal with anxiety. It's crippling. I saw my mom. I saw what it did to her, even as she was so afraid to die. And she was passing over. And that's a horrible feeling when you're so scared and you know that's what's happening to you. And you are so, so scared beyond any reason. That's a horrid place to be. Let's nip that anxiety in the bud, at least as far as giving us some tools to be able to deal with it and have that little hungry goblin be very, very bored. I do love you all. And I'll tell you what, Spirit is love. And when we can bore that little worry goblin and have the tools to create peace in our mind, where we can sleep, where we can feel good, then that worry is replaced with love. Isn't that cool? And when we have that love, we are more in line with Spirit. As always, Namaste. Stay connected to yourself, stay connected to Spirit, and stay connected with others. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Don't miss out on a single thing. Subscribe below. And here's something else I think you'll enjoy. Namaste.